Day 3, y'all. Everybody. We're gonna call this day selection. I call this day talking, cause that's the entire part. Now, granted, we have to explain things that are going on within the game as I pick this ammo up. We just, well, he kind of helped us out, but we just not ran into. We didn't like, hey, how's it going? But where is his name? I'm really bad with the name, but the Japanese scientist Medea, or I'm not. Nah, I don't. His name. But no, after actually running into him, he's just gonna explain. Well, what he knows. Not all of what he knows, but he was part of the incident in the previous, well, actually in the last book. But no, and also too, like, as Daniel just gonna pull up. But what really isn't kind of, I don't want to say fleshed out or anything like that. But the game does kind of hint toward like not necessarily a romantic plot between I and him. It's more like I would like to say like almost like a crush almost, because we won't actually get into in this part, but I believe once we get to a certain part, I know there's a certain part in the game where he starts giving us things, and they don't really do anything. They're kind of just pointless. They're not like stat boosts. If you're gonna give us something that's useful. But yeah, since the city is evacuated, we can get all the snacks we want and just go into convenience stores. And just go into convenience stores and just raid people's stuff. And apparently, they leave chests with medicines in them. And what's this one? This one's a revive. Actually, revives are actually kind of rare in this game. Definitely it's day 3, but this is kind of like, but yeah, they're really rare, especially when you start getting them. And we don't really get a lot between the next two days, because day six is just one particular thing. How is there a critical evade in this little room here? And whoever wanted this should have kept it locked. But I'm just going through here. Yeah, as I realize, you can't really discard keys or particular items. We have to give them to we have to give it to Wayne in order to get rid of stuff we don't really need. And also, while I'm actually still going through it now, I'm trying to record some other footage for this stuff. I didn't know you can sift bullets, for ammo crate, because definitely in the EX game, if you're just having a regular playthrough, actually running out of bullets and grinding really isn't necessary. Why won't you just take it with you? It's not really necessary. You can kind of get through the game pretty much without, if you face every enemy without having an escape, which I didn't realize there's actually an escape thing in this game. You can get through the game, now granted the final boss, every final boss is challenging, and actually without running out of bullets. But yeah, EX mode does require a lot of I don't want to say skill, but a lot of preparation and knowing, how these people level up. And I just thought, it's the day after Christmas, And it's the complete total opposite in all places of Manhattan. You know, usually the day after Christmas, people run out. Oh my God, I didn't get this. You know, you always got, you know, and they had to at least show some of this on the news, because you still get some of those people who are still showing up to work. You know, granted, there's a thing walking around Manhattan that turns people into orange juice. You're still having people show up to work, or I mean, staying at home would be relatively nice, but I'm not even sure. You know, you don't want to take that chance. You don't want to be turned into orange goop when someone gets banged. That's not good. But unlike another person's gun shop, well, it is Manhattan. There is a gun shop, but no. But Sam's Gun Shop, and actually, there's no apostrophe, so it's just Sam's. But Daniel takes the only approach he knows. He just shoots it down, not knowing that police department's gonna have to probably pay for that and pay for all the weapons that he stole. Because I think he's kind of looking through here and he's just like, well, yeah, get whatever you want. Yeah, just grab any gun you want. But actually, speaking of which, because I think I'm running through and I'm getting them now. But yeah, we make our way in this gun shop. There's a M11 gun. I'm not sure which crate it is. If it's your first playthrough, there's a G9, which I believe is a grenade launcher, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. If I am wrong, just let me know, because I'm usually wrong most of the time. And a defensive vest and a Club 2, which now you can get rid of the clubs. Really, honestly, you really don't need the club in your first playthrough. Oh, the M11 is a machine gun. See, there you go. But you really don't need the clubs in your first playthrough. Seriously, I mean, I know you can't discard. You know, if you have 2 clubs in your inventory, you can get rid of 1, but you can't just go out without a club, because the game doesn't want to deadlock you without having any ammo or any other way to fight. So you can't really do that, to save up inventory slots or anything like that. But yeah, your first playthrough, you really don't need the club, and I'm just kind of bantering on. Although some of the clubs later, maybe in EX and later down the road, they do get better as far as strength. Now you got to pick and choose which enemies you fight with it, but some have the ability to steal, some have the ability to do extra damage or effects. And out of all the weapons in the game, the club is actually the fastest active time reloader ever, because it's not really a gun. So yeah, all right. But I think we're as good as we're gonna get. I mean, I can't get my items from Wayne because we haven't gone back to the police station. So after dropping off at the pharmacy and at the gun store, and as I clip through that door right there, talk to Daniel and actually get on the other side of that car. And then you just let them know that, we're ready to go do some detective work. And as boring as it is, we're still doing detective work. But yeah, we leave Soho and we go to the museum. We need to, somebody, last time we talked to Dr. Clapp, he was very defensive about stuff he was willing to tell us and stuff he was willing to release. But now we need to either, he needs to tell us something. And the kind of the background here is pretty funny though. The constant moving background. It reminds me of those movies from like the 40s where it's like the projected background and it's just a continuing loop. So, But now they're just talking about, you know, the city being evacuated and, well, apparently Daniel is the Barrett of this game, pretty much. He's pre-Barrett, just without the, you know, the machine gun on his arm. He's a combination of Barrett and, I would say, Murtaugh. Lethal Weapon. There we go. Lethal Weapon was the move. Yeah, if you don't actually press any buttons, it kind of does like this kind of swirling thing on the map. Also, too, on the map, if you're on the map and while you pick your whatever location you want to go to in Manhattan, if you press the select button, we will then kind of go toward a kind of helicopter mode-ish, where we just follow around the helicopter around the particular island. I think I may show it off. I might not. I'm not sure yet. I'm still wrapping some stuff up from this game. Huh? Mr. Clapp isn't here. Well, yeah. Clapp isn't here. We don't have a warrant. The city is evacuated. Yeah, let's just sneak into his office and mess with stuff. Okay, taking stuff from taking stuff from Aya without her permission. It's kind of creepy. He probably took it from while she was asleep. It's a little creepy. But I am kind of glad that the game does kind of hint to more like a crush kind of thing as opposed to a romantic plot. Because, I mean, it's day 3. We just now ran into him. You know, the plot only lasts 6 days. So, can't really love someone in 6 days. I don't know. There's crazy people out there that they'll tell you. It's a CG cutscene. What is it? Yeah, it's FMV. Welcome to 1997. 7. Actually, this kind of looks like the opening of any of those X-Men movies prior to Wolverine origin. It looks like Nostra. Yes, this is the most powerful magnifying glass ever created. I know he has expensive stuff, but can we really see this through a microscope? Actually, that FMV kind of looks like, you know, if you ever watch those commercials with something like a bathroom cleaner where they show something so outrageous that it's not really what it is. What is it, like Scrubby Bubbles? Where the little Scrubby Bubble dudes go around. I don't know. I'm drifting off because it's just plot, and I don't know anything about mitochondria or gene science. But apparently, Aya has the kind of not really antibodies, but she's going through essentially a mutation that kind of wards off Eve's Eve's ability. Kind of Eve's ability to turn people into goop. And also, too, Eve is still kind of walking around with that big orange mass of people or people juice. She's still walking around. It's like no one has said anything to her, or are they hiding? I don't know. I question these things sometimes. It's not really a playthrough. I really haven't done anything. I've pressed up and X about 6 times during this part. This is definitely like the lull in the game around the very beginning of day 3. We only go to one place. You didn't do anything. You just kind of just waved your hands over top of it. I think you should see this FMV for yourself. Is something wrong? It's not in high definition. Duh. But now we're watching. I believe this is a Clapp has some DNA from. I believe it's from Eve, or this is the effect that it had. Like Eve's ability has on. Oh, actually no. Actually, let's reverse that. This is Aya's. That's Aya's. That's Aya's DNA, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, see, she's supplying more energy than the nucleus in the cell. So previously, yeah, so like the kind of parasite kind of thing, Parasite Eve, but the parasite that attaches to, I guess, our blood or mitochondria, it just takes it as a host, and Eve can do whatever. Richard Dawkins is actually that's actually a real thing, people. If you're actually interested in any of that stuff, you can actually look that up. Richard, what's his name? Richard Dawkins. There you go. Simple Gene. I haven't read it. I'm actually reading other stuff at the moment, but if you're interested, I mean, you never know. Some games kind of open entrance to other things, and so on and so on. You know, you might watch this playthrough and then you may think about being a gene therapist or something like that. I don't know. Strangest things can happen. But yeah, but her kind of energy just in hold it. Yeah, they almost shot him. What do you mean what we're doing in life? We do what the hell we want. It's not like you can call security. It's not like you can call anybody. Actually, the city's evacuated. Kind of, sort of has a point. He's the resident expert. He's a scientist from Japan. Yeah, it was. Oh, it's a electronic microscope. I still don't think it can get that fine. Those are like, jeez. I don't know. Maybe they can. I haven't looked through a microscope since grade school, so I don't know. No, he doesn't. He doesn't really know. You know, Clapp is a real douche, and he's also up to something. So apparently, before you combust, you feel really hot. He said you had any loss of consciousness, and apparently, Clapp has been doing some research that he really shouldn't have, or finding out the standby button. I don't know. I'm pretty sure computers in '97 did have the standby button or the sleep button, or turn the screen off, so people won't snoop in what you're doing. Daniel, just be glad it wasn't porn. That's all I'm gonna say. It was actually DNA. It was actually DNA of his son and wife that he was analyzing. You know, Daniel could kind of kick his ass, not really do anything. Clapp is the expert though, but he's just a douche, and he has another agenda too. We will soon find out what his other agenda is. This part is also pretty funny too. It is bye. Nah, it's never too late. What are you talking about? If we have to get rid of her, we'll get rid of her. But apparently in the game's theory, that was the day after Christmas. So in the very next part, we'll head to the New York City Police Department.